Hello fans, you're welcome on board. Do you know what's this? It's called Fire Alarm. Now, in some cases, people find it difficult to dictate the function of this fire alarm. In some cases, they will tell you that is when there is fire outbreak in the company, the fire alarm comes up. No, it's not when there is fire outbreak. Once there is fire outbreak, you can't secure anything within the company. You see it now? When you are waiting for the fire outbreak, or when there's fire outbreak, that means you can't secure anything in the company. The basic function of this fire alarm that you're seeing here is what when there's what increase in temperature or change in temperature, the fire alarm comes up immediately. It's a kind of signal telling you what there is what a kind of increase or change in temperature. When you notice this in a company, what you should do is what you go to your control switch, then you switch it off immediately. Once you switch off the control switch, everything will be normalized. But in some cases where the fire alarm comes up, we start running within the company or factory to dictate where the fault is. You can't do that. Once there is what, when the fire alarm comes up, what you should do, you run to your control switch, then you switch off. Everything will normalize. That's the basic function of this fire alarm. And I'm not saying in a normal ground whereby maybe you are using a soundproof or generator within the company or factory, and the power holding within the abode or locality brings light or the light comes off. What did you do? Automatically to switch to NEPA or the power holding. Now you go and switch your generator or soundproof off. What I'm trying to say is that in a neutral ground whereby the soundproof is not on, the generator is not on, you are using power holding or people that supply electricity within that vicinity. What the power fire alarm comes up, what you should do, you run to your control switch and switch it off. Or if you are using soundproof, a kind of there's no change, maybe the NEPA brings light or the power holding brings light, that you are using a particular soundproof and this fire alarm comes up. What you do was you switch off, you run to the control switch, then you switch off, everything will come back to normal. That's the basic function of this fire alarm. But if you are waiting maybe for the fire to come up before it doesn't work that way. Now, for people studying digital electronics, it's very, very important, or computer science, if you're studying, it's very, very important, and you're working in a company, airport, as the case may be. Yeah, once there is what the fire alarm comes up, what is telling you is what there is what change in temperature or increase in temperature. When it has exceed its ambient temperature, that is exactly the best version of this fire alarm. It's not when the building is burning or the factory. No, before in a factory or company, before fire outbreak comes up, the fire alarm will go first before the fire outbreak. Do you see it now? Before the fire outbreak, the fire alarm comes or turns on automatically for some seconds, or in some cases it will be minutes, or in some cases it will be seconds. Now I'm telling you what there is what change in temperature or increase in temperature. What you should do for you to be in a safe and save your company, what you should do, you go to the control switch and switch it off immediately. Everything will be normalized. You don't wait when the fire comes up, you start running. No, maybe looking for fire service to come and help you and control the environment. No, once you hear, whether you're security or you're manager of a company, or in fact, once you are within that locality and this fire alarm comes up, based on maybe external force or factors that is not within the control of the company, what you should do what is switch off the control switch. And once you switch off the control switch, everything comes normal. I'm not saying in a place whereby you are using soundproof and the NEPA brings light or the power holding within the environment brings light. No, in a neutral ground whereby your soundproof is not on, you are using a NEPA or any power holding that supplies electricity within the environment, and this fire alarm comes. So what you should do is switch off the control switch. Once it goes off, everything will come to normal. Thank you and God bless you.